Okay, first things first, let's talk about Maui, the demigod, who teams up with Moana on her adventure. Now, if you're like me and you're well versed in the ways of the internet, you probably know that Maui is like a total babe. But here's the thing, he's not just a beefcake with a hook, he's actually a nod to a real Polynesian myth. See, in Polynesian mythology, Maui wasn't just a demigod, he was the god of the dead. Talk about a plot twist, right? In the movie, they took that whole god of the dead thing and gave it a bit of a spin. Instead of ruling over the afterlife, Maui became the god of the wind, which is super fitting because, you know, wind can be like totally unpredictable and powerful, kind of like the spirit of the dead. Next, let's chat about Moana's pet pig. Pua might seem like just a cute little piggy sidekick, but he's actually a symbol of something much bigger, a symbol of the indigenous people of the Pacific Islands. You see, pigs are actually sacred in many Polynesian cultures, and they represent the connection between the natural world and the human world. Plus, pigs were one of the first animals to be domesticated, so they have a special place in history. By making Moana's sidekick a pig, Disney paid respect to the indigenous people's deep relationship with animals and the environment. It's a small but mighty detail that adds a layer of meaning to Moana's story. Alright, now let's shift gears and talk about Tamatoa, the big bad crab with a serious bling obsession. Now, Tamatoa might seem like just a goofy villain, but he's actually a metaphor for something much more sinister: colonialism. Let me break it down for you. Tamatoa represents the colonizers who came to the Pacific Islands and took all the natural resources without giving anything back. Just like Tamatoa hoarded jewels and trinkets, the colonizers took all the valuable resources like gold and spices back to their home countries, leaving the islands with nothing but trinkets and baubles. And just like Moana and her friends had to fight Tamatoa to free the ocean, the indigenous people of the Pacific Islands had to fight for their independence from the colonizers. It's a powerful metaphor that makes you think about the movie in a whole new way. Well, folks, that's a wrap on part 2 of our deep dive into the hidden secrets of Moana. I hope you enjoyed learning about the deeper meanings and cultural references in this amazing movie. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content. And hey, if you want to keep the party going, why not check out part 1 of our Moana Secrets series? We cover even more hidden gems and Easter eggs that you might have missed the first time around. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the oceans of Moana. Until next time, stay curious, stay open-minded, and remember, the most extraordinary stories often have the deepest messages. Thanks for watching. See ya. This video may contain spoilers for the movie Moana. Okay, comment if you've got it. Look, we get it. When you're a kid, everything's exciting. Talking rocks, fire-breathing fish, magic coconut trees. But as you grow up, you start picking up on things movies don't necessarily want you to notice. Hidden secret number 1. Maui's tattoos are more than just ink. Now let S kick things off with Maui, the demigod, who is basically the rock star of Polynesian mythology. Now, kids see Maui's tattoos as cool decorations that move around like living cartoons. But adults, we recognize that Maui's tattoos are storytelling devices that connect him to real Polynesian cultural traditions. In Polynesian cultures, tattoos known as tato in Samoa and moko in Maui are deeply symbolic. They represent history, family lineage, personal achievements, and spiritual beliefs. Every swirl, every line on Maui's body is a chapter of his story. His tattoos aren't just magic tricks, they're his identity. And here's something only Sharpie adults notice: Maui's mini Maui tattoo. The little character who guides him isn't just comic relief. He's basically Maui's conscience, the good voice on his shoulder. That's a classic storytelling trope adults catch, like Jiminy Cricket in Pinocchio. But Disney didn't stop there. If you freeze frame during Maui's song, You're Welcome, ULLC, that some of his tattoos include real Polynesian myth references. Him pulling up islands from the sea, him slowing down the sun, him lassoing the sky. These are all authentic legends told about Maui across Polynesia. Adults who know mythology realize Disney wasn't just inventing powers, they were honoring real oral traditions, while also giving Maui a little bit of a celebrity ego. It's like Disney gave us a visual encyclopedia of Polynesian myth in tattoo form. Kids laugh at Minnie Mouse, making silly faces, while adults are like, wow, that's some deep cultural symbolism right there. Hidden secret number 2. Moana's name means more than you think. Now let's talk about our heroine, Moana, beautiful, brave, and destined to restore the heart of Te Fiti. But here's the first secret adults notice. Moana's name isn't random. It has a very powerful meaning. In many Polynesian languages, including Hawaiian, Maori, and Samoan, Moana literally means ocean or deep sea. So when the ocean chooses Moana, it's not just a cute Disney plot point. It's a poetic metaphor. She is the ocean. She carries its spirit, its depth, and its freedom. Now here's the deeper layer only adults catch. In mythology and psychology, the ocean often represents the subconscious mind. Moana's journey is both literal sailing across the sea and metaphorical diving into her own inner strength. So when Moana sings, "See the line where the sky meets the sea, it calls me," adults understand this is more than wanderlust. It's about listening to your inner voice, your destiny, and even your suppressed instincts. Another detail, in early storyboards, Moana was actually going to have siblings, but Disney scrapped that idea to make her story all about her relationship with the ocean. That's how central the ocean is to her identity. To kids, Moana is just a girl chosen by magic water. To adults, she's a symbol of what happens when you finally stop ignoring your calling. And let us be honest, how many of us adults here, how far I'll go, and immediately think about our own life choices? That song hits harder at 30 than it ever did at 13. Hey, if you made it this far, congrats. You're officially part of the Disney Adulting Club. Remember that time you thought a certain movie was for kids? Yeah, those were the good old days. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these secrets. And hey, before you go, hit the subscribe button, because we've got a lot more Disney secrets to uncover together. See ya. Disney movies are packed with hidden secrets and Easter eggs that make multiple viewings worthwhile, and Moana is no exception. From sly nods to popular culture to subtle life lessons woven into the story, there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. So get ready for a deep dive into the enchanting world of Moana and uncover the hidden meanings you didn't know you were learning all along. Hidden secret number 1. Moana's island has a secret shape, 0 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Let S start with a geographical Easter egg. When you look closely at Motunui, Moana's home island, it has a secret shape. It looks like a heart. This symbolizes the love and care the island's inhabitants have for their home. But that's not all. Island shapes in Polynesian cultures often have spiritual significance. According to wayfinding expert Jared Hammer, heart-shaped islands are believed to be the birthplace of chiefs. Now, when we meet Moana, she dreams of exploring beyond the reef, which makes her an unlikely chief. But when her people are in trouble, she rises to the occasion, proving that she is, in fact, a chief. She embodies the spirit of her island and its people. Kids might not notice the island's heart shape, but adults will pick up on the deeper meaning. Not only does it relate to Polynesian beliefs, but it also connects to Moana's role as a chief and her connection to her island home. It's a subtle nod to the rich cultural influences that shaped the movie. Hidden secret number 2. Maui uses ancient Polynesian wayfinding techniques, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. If you're a fan of Polynesian culture, you'll love this one. When Moana and Maui sail together, they use an ancient technique called wayfinding. It's the art of navigating the ocean using stars, currents, and wind patterns. Kids will see Moana and Maui sailing side by side, but adults will appreciate the nod to traditional Polynesian travel. It's a reminder that long before modern GPS, people relied on these techniques to explore and settle new lands. Wayfinding is more than just a method of travel. It's a connection to the past. For adults who know about Polynesian history, it's a reminder of the incredible journeys their ancestors took to populate the Pacific Ocean. It's also a clever way for Moana to connect with Maui. Both characters rely on the ocean for guidance, and wayfinding symbolizes that shared connection. Hidden secret number 3. Hey Hey the rooster isn't just comic relief. 10 o'clock to 15 o'clock. Okay, let's talk about the bird. Hey Hey, at first glance, Hey Hey seems like the dumbest Disney sidekick ever. He's constantly bumping into walls, eating rocks, and basically trying to sabotage Moana's canoe without meaning to. Kids think he's funny, but adults, we realize Hey Hey is more than just a running gag. He is a clever little piece of symbolism. In Polynesian cultures, chickens, roosters, have spiritual meaning. They're seen as messengers between worlds, symbols of dawn, protection, and sometimes even warning. So while kids laugh at Hey Hey's stupidity, adults notice something strange. Every time danger is near, Hey Hey squawks or panics. He accidentally helps Moana by being in the right place at the right time, like when he swallows the heart of Te Fiti. And in Polynesian tradition, roosters announce the arrival of the sun, bringing light after darkness. In other words, Hey Hey isn't useless at all. He's like Moana's accidental guardian. Even the directors of Moana admitted in interviews that Hey Hey was originally going to be cut from the film because he felt too dumb. But then they realized his cluelessness was his genius. He represented the idea that even the smallest, weirdest, or seemingly unworthy things in life can serve a purpose. Adults notice this theme right away. Hey Hey is proof that destiny doesn't only choose the brave warriors. Sometimes, it chooses the weirdos too. And let's be honest, bro, how many of us feel like Hey Hey sometimes? Just pecking at rocks, bumping into stuff, and still somehow surviving life's chaos. Hidden secret number 4. Maui is more than just a demigod. 15 o'clock to 20 o'clock. Kids see Maui as a fun-loving demigod who can shapeshift and control the wind. But adults see a lot more in his character. First off, Maui represents Polynesian culture. His tattoos tell stories of his adventures, and he uses his knowledge of the stars to navigate the ocean. He even has a special connection to the ocean itself, calling it his auntie and knowing its moods. So on the surface, Maui's a cool demigod. But dig a little deeper and you'll see an allegory for life. Think about it. Maui sets off to steal fire for humanity. He fishes up the islands, pulls the sun closer to the sky, and tames the wind. Each adventure is a challenge, and each victory improves life for everyone. Sounds a lot like adulthood, right? Because that's what we do. We face problems, solve them, and make the world a better place in the process. But here's where it gets heavy. Maui struggles with his own mortality. He taunts the gods, bargained for immortality, but ultimately failed. He worries that his failures will be remembered and questioned. Sound familiar? Well, that's adulthood too. We strive for greatness, push our limits, but we're always aware of our own mortality. We can't change our age. We can't cheat death. But here's the wisdom in Maui's story. Even if we fail to achieve immortality, our impact can still live on. Maui worried that he'd be forgotten, but his legacy lives on in his tattoos, in the stories Polynesian cultures tell, and now in Disney's Moana. Maui realized he couldn't beat death, but his spirit and achievements will live on through the generations. That's a message for adults, a reminder that our time is limited, but our impact can be eternal. If you've ever doubted your purpose or felt the weight of your own mortality, remember Maui's story. Strive for greatness, embrace your failures, and know that your impact can echo through eternity. Hidden secret number 6. Moana teaches us about our brains. 25 minutes and 0 seconds to 30 minutes and 0 seconds. When Moana feels lost or scared, she stops moving, freezes up, and has terrible thoughts like, "You can do this. You're Moana. You'll never be a great wayfinder. The ocean's angry. You're making everyone suffer. Maybe if you just stay still, the bad feeling will go away." Sound familiar? Paralysis and negative thoughts happen to all of us. But what does Moana do next? She literally puts those thoughts into her hair and lets them float away. What does this teach us? Your brain won't sort itself out. Don't bottle up your emotions or pretend problems don't exist. If something bothers you, make space for it acknowledge it, and process it. Moana understands this intuitively, and it helps her move forward. But this lesson goes over kids' heads. They see a silly song and don't connect it to their own struggles with anxiety, fear, or sadness. And yes, even kids experience these emotions. Remember, children observe everything. Kids might not verbalize their feelings, but they notice when mom gets anxious or dad has a worried look on his face. They sense the tension. Moana's struggle becomes a safe way for them to understand their own confusing emotions. But for adults, this scene hits differently. It reminds us of our own battles with mental health. When Moana lets her worries float away, it mirrors the process of therapy, journaling, meditation, or any emotional release. The secret brilliance of Moana is that it normalizes emotional struggles without making a big deal out of them. Yes, kids get swept up in the catchy tunes and vibrant visuals, but they also internalize healthy coping mechanisms. Hidden secret number 7. Maui's tattoos are a living history book. 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 35 minutes and 0 seconds. One of the coolest things about Maui isn't just his giant fishhook or his cocky personality. It's his tattoos. At first glance, they look like fun little animations. Kids laugh when Minnie Maui argues with him or bosses him around. But adults, we notice something much deeper. Maui's tattoos are his story. They're a permanent record of his victories, failures, and choices. Every major event in his life is inked onto his skin. And that's not just a cool Disney idea. It's rooted in Polynesian tradition. In many Pacific Island cultures, tattoos, known as tatau or moko, are sacred. They represent identity, heritage, and spiritual milestones. Tattoos aren't just decoration, they're storytelling. Each mark carries meaning about who you are and where you come from. So when kids laugh at Minnie Maui, adults realize this is Disney's way of honoring Polynesian culture. Maui literally wears his life story on his skin. But here's the clever part. Maui pretends to be this big, fearless demigod, yet his tattoos betray his vulnerability. His heroic tattoos brag about his accomplishments. But then there's the one tattoo that shows his biggest failure. When he abandoned humanity by stealing the heart of Te Fiti, Minnie Maui constantly reminds him of the truth, that he isn't just a legend, he's a flawed being who messed up. Adults, notice the symbolism here. Tattoos in Moana aren't just body art, they're memory, accountability, and legacy. Things we all think about more as we grow older. Do you remember when you were little and your parents would tell you to be careful when you went out to play? They'd say things like, "Don't talk to strangers," or "Stay away from the big bad wolf." Well, turns out there were some secrets that your parents might have missed when they watched Moana as a kid. You probably didn't pick up on all the deeper meanings and complex themes in the movie, but now that you're older, you can appreciate the brilliant ways that Disney wove in adult themes without sacrificing the fun, adventurous story for kids. In this video, we'll explore 2 hidden secrets in Disney's Moana that most people miss. These are themes so clever and well disguised that they deserve a second watch to fully appreciate. So grab your snacks, Maui's hook, and let's dive in. Hidden secret number 7. Moana isn't just a chieftain's daughter. She's an explorer at heart. 25 minutes and 0 seconds to 30 minutes and 0 seconds. If you've ever seen pictures of real-life Moana, you'll know she was named after the Polynesian wayfinder and explorer Moana of the night sky. And Disney Moana shares her namesake's adventurous spirit. From the moment she can walk, Moana isn't content with life on the island. She wants to sail beyond the reef. This secret is pretty obvious, even to kids. They can tell that Moana longs for more than village life. But what adults notice is that her desire to explore is a metaphor for the human need to discover and understand the world. Even though her father, Chief Tui, worries about sending her out to sea, he eventually lets her go because he respects his daughter's spirit. This is a subtle nod to the idea that fulfilling your dreams is important, no matter how scared you might be. It's an empowering lesson that resonates with adults who face their own fears to follow their passions. By making Moana an explorer at heart, Disney subtly suggests that we shouldn't let fear stop us from discovering what's possible. After all, The greatest discoveries are often found by those who dare to venture into the unknown. Hidden secret number 8. Moana is more than just a fisher. She's a leader in training 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 35 minutes and 0 seconds. In the beginning of the movie, young Moana imagines herself as a great voyager sailing around the world. But as she grows up, her responsibilities as chief's daughter keep her close to Motunui. Although she feels called to the ocean, she thinks she's destined to lead her people. This secret is woven throughout the film. While Moana yearns to explore, she also helps organize village activities, tending the crops, attending parties, keeping her people thriving. It's a nice touch for kids to see Moana balance work and play. But adults recognize that her actions as Chief's daughter are actually training her for her destiny as a voyager. When her father forbids her from sailing, Moana tries to accept her fate as chief, but she still yearns for the ocean. This internal conflict highlights a universal struggle, accepting the path laid out for you versus following your true calling. Eventually, Moana realizes that she can honor both. She becomes a great leader by going on her adventure and restoring the heart of Te Fiti. This hidden secret shows that sometimes our destinies require us to break tradition and forge our own path. What do you think of these hidden secrets? Did you catch them on your first watch? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and share with your friends if you enjoyed it. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Hey, welcome back to my channel. And in this video, we be taking a closer look at some of the more controversial topics and subjects explored in Moana. Because I think if we really stop and pay attention to what's going on in this movie, there are some really interesting things happening. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say that this is obviously a kids' movie, first and foremost, so some of these topics are only hinted at or touched on, but I think it's still worth talking about. Also, this video will contain spoilers, obviously, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, then don't click on this video because I am not giving out any spoilers. Okay, let's get into it. I think one of the most interesting things about Moana is that it subverts a lot of our expectations and plays with our nostalgia in a really clever way. For example, the whole plot of the movie is essentially Moana traveling to a faraway island and returning with the heart of Te Fiti, the island that they're living on. But along her journey, she discovers that the heart has been taken by Maui, the demigod, and he doesn't remember doing it. So she has to make him remember. And in the process, they become friends and learn a lot about themselves. But the reason I bring this up is because, if you think about it, this is exactly the same plot as the Little Mermaid, except Moana doesn't need a prince to save her. And in fact, she saves herself. This is a really subtle way of playing with audience expectations and subverting the classic damsel in distress trope that we all used to. Another thing that Moana does really well is its use of symbolism. One of the most obvious examples of this is the ocean. The ocean is clearly a symbol of Maui, and Maui is a symbol of change. They both represent different aspects of Moana's character and help her to grow throughout the movie. For example, when she first sets sail from Motunui, she's carefree and excited, just like the ocean. But as soon as she reaches the dark ocean, she becomes scared and unsure of herself. However, she eventually learns to trust the ocean again and realizes that it was her all along. Now, if you think that's crazy, just wait until you hear this. A lot of people also believe that Te, the fire demon, is actually Te Fiti in disguise. This theory is based on the fact that Te looks very similar to Te Fiti, and they both have a connection to fire. We see Te breathing fire and lava, and we know that Te Fiti is the goddess of life and nature. Fire and nature are closely related. If you think about it, trees catch fire, lightning is electrical energy, and volcanoes erupt with molten lava. Fire is a natural part of the world and can be both beautiful and dangerous. Just like Te Fiti, this theory is further supported by the fact that Te eventually turns back into Te Fiti after Moana restores her heart. Okay, which of these Moana secrets surprised you the most? Did you already know about Te being Te Fiti? Or did the Tamatoa Little Mermaid joke blow your mind? Comment below and let's talk about it. If you loved discovering these hidden Moana details, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing Disney secrets, and turn on the bell so you never miss a new video. And trust me, we've got even crazier Pixar and Frozen theories coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.